Hello and welcome back, and yes, you've guessed it, it's all about the money. It's all about the money.
You're not going to say hello?
I've already said hello.
Oh, okay.
You can say hello though, because you've not said hello.
Hello everyone.
Okay, it's all about the money. Drum roll. A few provisos first. It was just under the 90 days because we bolted back for COVID reasons. We did spend about 4 to 5 weeks with family in Nerja, so we had no campsites or fuel then. And fuel costs were obviously lower back then. And the vet fees includes the Spanish passports that we got for the dogs, but not the health certificate that we needed before we came out. So, for the 3 months, the total cost was £3,506.
Bargain.
A third of it was groceries, £1,245. Then fuel, £776. Campsites, £381. Dining and drinks out, £363. That's just your beer. Tunnels were £300. We purchased that a long time beforehand. The vet fees were £180. That was the Spanish passports, the worming tablets and medication. The tolls were £148. Gas, a huge amount, £15. And the other bits were just things like laundry and COVID tests, etc., the little incidentals. So it was quite a good value. 3 months.
Yeah, well, the groceries at 1245, does that, it doesn't include going out for a meal with people,
No.
does it? No.
That's just your beer, your wine, your dog food, your food that you have in the van or wherever.
Yeah, okay. Fuel, 776. Well, we did just under 4,000 miles, so we went from North Wales to southern Spain.
Nerja was our furthest.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was quite good, I suppose, because the fuel price now, 6 months later, is a lot more.
Yeah.
Campsites, well, we actually stayed in quite a few free airs and stuff.
We did.
The first trip, we were very careful. And dining and drinks, well, 363. To be fair, we didn't go out that much. It's 363 because we took friends and family out for a meal.
We did.
And we paid.
There was a lot of places that were shut or it was too cold for us in November.
So that's probably another reason why we didn't go out that much, really. I mean, we're being careful, weren't we, with the finances.
Yeah.
Tunnel 300, well, again, we pre-booked it well in advance, so that's why it was that much.
It's a lot more now.
And tolls, 148. Well, we made a big mistake one day and we stayed on the toll road for a bit too long, didn't we? In France. So I think it was like 70 euros that one day, so we won't do that again. You know, you can find good roads. Unfortunately, you can also find bad roads with lots of roundabouts and lots of speed humps. Takes you through loads of little towns and villages, and many hours can go by.
Which brings on to your tips and tricks for driving abroad on the wrong side, the right side.
Yeah, drive on the right side of the road. Google Earth is your best friend, really, and Street View as well. So do a lot of prep. Have a look at the area en route to make sure there's no problems, narrow roads, bridges, restrictions, etc. And I like to do also Street View the last sort of mile or so towards each stop, just to get a feel for the place. And when I'm actually driving it, I'll have seen it before, and normally I can,
very good
at getting into the site from looking at it on Street View. So that's what we do. Always have plan A, B, and C for sites, just in case the one you get to first you don't like.
Which we didn't always do.
And then, as well as running Google Maps and the sat nav, have a look at it on a European road atlas. And then when you've done all that, really, you shouldn't go wrong, but you can.
So how many sites do you think we did in total? Or stops, should I say?
26.
35.
Wow.
Okay, so we're just going to have a quick run through, starting with our first one, which you have to go round Rouen, which Dave will talk about in a minute, to a place called Pont de l'Arche.
Yeah.
Which is an air. It's free in winter time, but it's €5 in the summer. But it's also next to a municipal campsite, so you've got 2 options there, haven't you?
And is it the river? Well, I'm not sure which river it is.
I don't know which river
but
it
it's
is.
next to the river as well. It's very nice.
And a nice little town.
But navigation,
Through
Rouen. A lot of
Rouen.
roads go to Rouen. So if you're taking the tunnel or you're taking a ferry or whatever, you can quite often pass through Rouen. Avoid the centre, because there's some...
Otherwise you'll have a cabriolet.
Yes, your roof will come off. Because there's some low height underpasses that you go through. And you've probably all seen pictures of it on
Disaster.
on the internet of what's gone wrong. So yeah, if you go around the outskirts either side and stick to the main roads, you're probably going to be okay. But as we just said, Google Earth it all and make sure you know exactly the route you're going to take. And then if you do get lost, pull over and work out how the hell to get out of there without going through those low underpasses.
If you don't want a cabriolet, van or motorhome. So from there we went to Vass, and that's when we did the big toll road.
Yeah, but it got us a long way down in a day, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
Vass, there wasn't much there really. It was a municipal campsite, and there was an air opposite which you hadn't noticed because we hadn't zoomed in enough.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, we had a nice walk round, but there wasn't much in the town.
No, the site was lots of trees and shade, very quiet.
Yep.
And yeah, the free air across the road looked nice and new, didn't it? Yeah.
So zoom in a bit more and you'll see it.
Yeah. It was it was just a convenient stop, wasn't it? Really. Yeah.
And from there we went to Ruffec.
Ruffec, yeah. We drove through Ruffec, but didn't actually look at it, did we?
No, but you did that weird road because you wanted to avoid the toll.
Yeah, the N10 I think it is.
Yeah, but that bit was all right.
Yeah.
But the top bit wasn't because it was...
Oh, right,
roundabout.
yeah. So around Poitiers, not Poitiers, is it?
I don't know. It could have been.
Somewhere around there, yeah. So yeah, we went on one of the horrible roads that time, was roundabout after roundabout.
So it took us a long time to get to Ruffec.
It did take us a long time to get to Ruffec.
So we didn't actually see much of Ruffec.
Yeah, but from Ruffec on, I think you've got the N10, which is dual carriageway, no tolls, lots of trucks on it, but it's a good road. That'll takes you down towards Bordeaux from there. But anyway, Ruffec, we stayed on a nice site near like a river and some little lakes, and there was some nice walks around it. It was very good. Site was okay. Someone stole my peg. A tent peg
That we used to put the dogs' leads on so they're all tied up. They stole it from that site. Anyway, from there we went to Gastes.
Yeah, that's
nice.
Gastes is near the coast, just is it south of Bordeaux?
Actually, we were going to go somewhere else.
Right.
Which was on Search for Sites, but you can't park overnight there anymore. So we moved on to Gast, didn't we?
We did, which was not far away.
No.
So it's an inland lake. Is it a saltwater lake or freshwater? I think it's fresh. I have to Google that. There's 2 big lakes there anyway. And it's like, they got like beaches as well, proper beaches, and they're very sandy.
Good for cycling.
Yeah. And we stayed there on the camping car.
Yep.
Air, which was only about, I think, €8 or €10, was it?
I think it was 12 at the time, but it's cheap. It depends what time of year you go.
Right,
so.
okay. Yeah, it was great. Big spot, enough for spaces for 100 vans, whatever.
And our top tip, when everyone else is taking in their awning, because they know what weather's going to appear, take yours in as well. We left ours out and it had
it hammered it down, and I think the weight of the water and the wind weakened one of the legs and it collapsed.
So that was a top tip.
Yeah.
Top learning curve. Then from there we crossed the border into Spain.
Yeah.
We were going to try San Sebastian Air, but it was full and chocker. And there's not much room between the vans to open your doors either. anyway, we couldn't get in, so we went to a little place called Zumaia, which was really nice. We were quite pleasantly surprised.
We were, yeah, yeah. Stayed on top of a hill, overlooking the town. It's a bit of a shipbuilding town, but don't let that put you off, because it was actually very nice, wasn't it?
Very nice town.
Yeah.
And from there, we were heading towards the Picos, because I wanted to do the Picos. So we went to Pots. No, we didn't do Pots. We did Pans.
Okay.
Panes, which
Pots and
is
Pans.
Pots and Pans, Pans and Pots, which is free air on the side of the road, like a lay-by. It is really, isn't it? Huge lay-by. So it's not quite in the town, but it's a nice walk
from the lay-by to a little old church and then around the river and back into town and do a loop.
Nice.
Yeah, it's signposted, and there's lots of information about the nature around there. It was good.
Barking dogs. That was Pans.
Barking dogs, yeah. So traffic noise, obviously, because you're in literally a lay-by, but it's deep lay-by, isn't it? And you get you can fit lots of motorhomes on there in different rows, probably about 3 deep, I would think, something like that. So you can park well back off the road. Traffic noise went by about 10, but the dogs, there's a villa behind, and the lady there's got 2 dogs, and she lets them bark all night. So put your earplugs in.
And from Pans, Pots, Pans to Pots, Pots, we parked in the car park behind the supermarket.
Gravel car park.
No camping, no levelling blocks. It's just parking. And the police come round about every 15 minutes to check and tell you off or move you on if you've got your levelling blocks out, etc. Yeah.
It's a good spot.
Free,
it's
obviously.
Really the start of the Picos properly, isn't it? And the roads that go through it.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
Sounds very nice.
But the weather wasn't fair, was it?
No. There's quite a good hiking around there as well.
There is, yeah. We'd stay longer and do it again, but it was just the rain came in and the low cloud and mist and everything. So the next day we left Pots. Yeah.
Pans, Pots.
Pots and Pans.
So
Pans. Difficult to remember.
Pots. It was Pots. We left Pots over the pass.
And went over the pass towards Riano. And it's supposed to be a stunning drive. I can imagine it was. It was quite scary because there were some really, really narrow bits, overhanging rocks. There were very steep drops, sometimes with just a flimsy crash barrier there. And unfortunately for us, it was misty and raining. The good thing was virtually nobody on the road. And you couldn't see all the drops. And I couldn't see all the drops from where I was sat. But anyway, it is what it is. But we came out of the rain and arrived at a big man-made lake, Riano, and that was a beautiful surprise, wasn't it?
It was a gorgeous place. That was.
So you can stay in Riano. You can actually stay right next to the lake edge, right next to the centre of town. Free air. It's like a big gravel car park, isn't it, with trees around it. Lovely backdrop. What a place. Blew us away, didn't it?
Gorgeous place.
Yeah, the mountains were unbelievable. They just got better and better. So highly recommend that one.
There is a campsite on the top as well.
Yeah, you can pay.
Which is nice. Has a nice view.
Yeah, above the town there is a campsite that has got a stunning view. I'd probably go there next time if I went again. Because you get a much better view of the mountains and the town, don't you?
And it's right by the big swing.
Yeah, there's a huge swing, Europe's biggest, highest swing on the top of the hill behind the town. It's good fun.
Good fun.
Yeah.
So from there we went to, we tried to go to, we didn't try. We went to Don Juan something or other, an air. But we moved on because we didn't like it.
We'll have to put that one in.
Don Juan.
Yeah.
And then we carried on driving to Bretosino for a night. There isn't actually many places to stop.
No.
At this point.
We're heading towards...
along the plains, towards Zamora and Salamanca.
Yeah, Salamanca. So when you're doing that route, there's not that many
big distances
around there, yeah. So what are you going about Bretosino?
Well, there wasn't much there.
Bretosino.
Yeah, it was that guy.
Yeah. So we stayed. You stay in a guy's house basically.
Yeah.
He's got like a big tarmac car park.
10 or 12 euros.
He's got a big tarmac car park next to the side of his house. He's got a swimming pool.
It does have hookup if you want
Yeah,
it.
you've got a hookup,
If you want it.
you look out across the fields,
Forest
don't
fields,
you?
Yeah. There's not much there.
There's not much there, no, but it was great as one
night
stop. Yeah,
it was fine.
Yeah.
Then we went to Zamora. I liked Zamora. It was an air right in the city centre.
Very
Really
easy
handy.
to get to.
It was nice there.
Yeah, Zamora, nice town.
Nice little city.
Mm.
And then from
You
there,
actually, in Zamora, the motorhome air is right next to the castle
yeah.
and the park, and you as you get out of your motorhome, you know, you're looking at the park, and there are picnic tables, lots of shade, and then as you walk out of the air, you're actually in the town.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, it really is.
Then to Salamanca. It's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
We stayed in a caravan and motorhome club site there. Well, it's not just theirs; they're affiliated with it, which was a few miles out of Salamanca itself.
Mm.
So we walked it. You could get a bus, which took
It's actually
45 minutes to get in, which took us 45 minutes to walk.
Yeah.
And the bus takes about 10 minutes back to the campsite.
Mm.
So obviously it goes around the houses on the way in.
Yeah.
But we just walked it.
It's actually a hotel that you stay in.
Yeah, in the grounds.
In the grounds of the hotel. It's like very picturesque when you come in. You know, there's flowers everywhere in the hotel car park, isn't there? Around reception.
But the sites aren't
But
like
the site compared
UK
to like
sites.
a UK caravan site is a bit tatty, isn't it? But anyway, it served the purpose. As Tiffany said,
cold there.
we walked into town and walked back. You walk along the river, and when you arrive in the city itself, it is fantastic, isn't it?
Beautiful buildings.
Yeah.
It was cold there though. We were cold at night. We had the heating on.
Yeah, and it was September, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
From there we went to Caceres.
Mm-hmm.
Caceres, where I was told was a lovely old town.
Yeah. See, I've just said about doing research. I didn't do enough research that day. The site looked quite easy, just off the main motorway again. Far enough away so you didn't have that much traffic noise. It was next to a football stadium, and there was a football match on when we arrived, but we managed to get in, and then it had finished by 3:30, so it was all good. And then the site was quirky because you had a little toilet block next to your pitch for everyone, so everyone had their own toilet block, washing up, loo, shower.
It's quite quirky,
which is weird, isn't it? Yeah, but it was okay. It was a nice place. So we decided to walk into town from there over the hill at the back, and it took us longer than we thought. It was hot, and we were running out of time. So we had a problem also finding the old town.
Couldn't find it on Google
because
Maps.
it was so built up now. There's lots of big new buildings there, and we just couldn't find it. Anyway, we found it in the end and did a quick exploration. Go back, spend more time there. It wasn't long enough, and we came out, had a beer, and got back to the site. And you know, I think we were all tired. It was hot. We had water with us, but I don't think we had enough. So. Yeah, and anyway, on that note, I believe there are some more airs actually in the centre now.
Oh, are there?
Yeah.
Oh, here. From there we went to Berlanga, where we adopted a dog for a day.
That was very strange, wasn't it? Yeah, we got met by a dog to guide us through the town. Berlanga, it's next to a restaurant on the side of the road.
But it only opens in the daytime, not at night, which is a bit of a shame.
No, it did at that time.
Or does it normally? It's height of summer, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was open most nights. It was just that night they were shut that night that we were there. Yeah. So it's next to a restaurant. It's on a gravel car park, sat back off the road. A few trees.
It's like a
nature reserve next to it, which is pretty cool.
Different animals and birds. You can walk around all free.
Yeah, and then you can walk along a very nice path from the nature reserve to the town, and then back. So yeah, if you don't mind a little bit of traffic noise, because it was a busy road, that was Berlanga to where were we going after? Cabra, yeah.
Cabra's a nice new air.
Yeah.
But we didn't go into the town.
No, we didn't know. Cabra surprised us, didn't it?
It was boiling there.
Because the pictures on Search for Sites and the description on Search for Sites didn't really do it justice, did they? So we got there and it was all brand new. Fresh tarmac, new gates, picnic benches, all proper lighting and everything. And it's right next to I don't know what they call it in Spain, but it's a cycle track, walking track.
It was a
disused railway. Yeah, there's a name for it, but I forgot what it is. And then you're right next to some mountains as well, and the track takes you right into the stunning countryside that's around you. And then you can walk into town. It's in a beautiful spot near to a hospital and some lovely houses, isn't it, with beautiful gardens.
Nice. And like a amphitheatre.
Yeah, there's an amphitheatre next to it. It was all good, but we didn't walk into Old Town, did we?
It was too hot. Too hot and too far for the dogs.
Yeah.
Then we went to Lake Vinuela.
Always wanted to go there. Nice drive.
The water level was
low on the lake,
but it was nice. Nice campsite, that one.
Yeah.
Go back there. Then obviously we stayed with family in Nerja.
Yeah.
Then from there we went to Almerimar.
Yeah, the marina.
That was nice spot. Very windy, very, very windy.
Well, it probably always is because you're on the marina wall.
You are.
Yeah.
But it was windy, so that's why we left. We just stayed another
day. Yeah.
Day. But that was a nice spot. Plenty to do there as well. Then we went to Carboneras.
That's on the coast.
That was an okay campsite, and there's like two either side of the road.
They're about a mile out of town, I think.
It doesn't take long to walk, and it's quite a good. Once you get a few hundred meters from the campsite, there's a good pavement.
Path. Yeah,
good pavement into the town, which they were doing up. They were doing up the prom when we were there. And from there, we went to the Port Mazaron, Las Torres.
Just outside Mazaron, weren't we?
Yeah.
We were slightly
Mazaron
northeast.
Nice.
Yeah, called Los Torres. Yeah, and we arrived there, and we thought it was a bit like shanty town, wasn't it? Really.
Actually, we grew to love that site.
We did, and we stayed longer. Yeah, they got tennis courts. There were lots of friendly Dutch people there.
Yeah.
Lots of full-timers.
They were there for the winter. A lot of them were there for the winter sun, weren't they?
But yeah, we enjoyed it, and they were very friendly, weren't they?
Yeah.
And we walked into
Mazaron was nice.
Yeah. It was
the other side, the other town wasn't. I can't remember what that was called. Where the fireworks. Oh, anyway. Then we went to Villa Joyosa. Not doing that one again.
No, again, not enough research.
For me.
We did have a plan B, which we should have done, but we made a fatal mistake of just reading some reviews, not doing a proper Google Earth check. Not that would have shown it anyway, in fact. So as we pulled up outside the site, actually it was too late. We drove through the gate, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we drove through the barrier, so we were in. Tiffany went to pay for the night, and to my horror, as I looked over my shoulder, I could see there were 3 massive apartment complexes being built, overshadowing the site, weren't they? Really, and the site was rammed. Absolutely rammed.
Spanish holiday.
Yeah, so what we should have done is parked outside, gone for a look around first, and then driven off. And plan B was actually just round the corner, at the end of a road behind these building complexes.
Motorhome's Park, but it's not an air.
No, Motorhome's Park up right at the end of the promenade, right next to the sea. It's beautiful, and there were about 4 or 5 A-classes parked there.
And the beach doesn't allow dogs.
No, it doesn't. No.
So we quickly moved from there to Val de la Gloire. That was nice. Bit of a tight drive up. Nice spot. Wasn't it?
High up in the mountains, looking out towards Denia, is it?
The receptionist was very good at telling you about walks and hiking around there.
Yeah. It's a bit of a weird place, wasn't it? Because you're in amongst the trees, which you've got to... It's quite tight, but it's doable. It's very doable. But if you go there, make sure that your partner watches you drive around so you don't hit any of the low branches or the big trees and stuff, you know.
And we did have a good spot because we were looking straight out across to Denja.
Yeah,
So that was nice.
it was lovely.
So then we went to Benicarlo and stayed in that.
Benicarlo, remind me about that one.
Benicarlo.
Benicarlo, the one with the English owners?
Yeah.
Right, okay, yeah. That's another port town.
They were all friendly and that.
Yeah.
You got a free drinks voucher when you went in. But
Mm-hmm.
we didn't really overrate the place, did we?
No. Met another mobile vet while we were there from Ireland.
Then from there we went to Nadal Winery.
That was
Loved
great,
that
wasn't
place. Little
Yeah.
bit of heaven.
it?
And a great tour and tasting.
That was west of Barcelona, inland, wasn't it?
So yeah, if you can find those little completely free overnight parking. There's no facilities, but it's really good.
All the vineyard
walking.
owners have got together and they've provided airs scattered around the wine region. And when you get there, I think they're shown on search for sites, but when you get there to your site, it shows you normally where the others are. So we did enjoy our stay there, and the walks around the vineyard were amazing, weren't they?
Then we went to the El Pla del Penedès.
That's another one owned by the wine people.
But that was an air, you had water and facilities there.
Yeah.
And then from there we went there to get water. We went across the border and back into France, La Roque des Alberts. That was a nice little camping car.
Lovely, right next to a tennis court.
Great for walking, hiking.
Yeah, right next to the village.
Electric hookup and Wi-Fi as well.
Yeah.
That was a bit hit and miss though. And from there we went to Villa Savary, just for a one-night stop.
Just a stop, really. The actual stop in Villa Savary is very nice, and you can walk from it straight across the fields into the hills. It's great, but the village very run down and nothing to do.
There was a butcher's and a baker.
And a church.
But no candlestick mate. And from there we were going to go to another air, somewhere beginning with M that I can't remember. But we decided we didn't want to stay there, so we ended up in St. Nicholas de la Grave. Another mistake, because we didn't Google quite where it was.
Oh yeah, I remember that
the actual
one.
spot's
Yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah. We hadn't done enough research into plan B and C, so we ended up there.
Getting out the next morning.
And to get out meant crossing this bridge that had very narrow archways, very narrow, and it was one way, and it was quite long as well, and there weren't traffic lights, so you had to give way to each other. Anyway, we looked at an alternative route and there weren't any. We'd had to go back about 20 miles backwards, so we got up early and we just pointed the motorhome at these arches on the bridge, and fortunately it fitted through with a couple of inches to spare, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was all good fun.
Then we went to Sulac. That was nice. Except for the moped that drove around at night, midnight.
Yeah, nice air though.
It was nice air. Apart from that, we'd have stayed longer, but
we would, yeah.
That was a real shame. Then we went to Carzac Islet. That was another little air along the Dordogne. Both of those were along the Dordogne, so you just walk along the river. Nice little towns.
Was that the one with the nice church?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from then, we went to stay with some friends for a few nights, and then we went to Amboise.
Yeah, that was good. Cold.
Stayed on the river there. Very, very cold.
Yeah.
Nice.
Stunning vista of the bridge and the
Leonardo
town.
da Vinci's chateau.
Yeah, did that.
And there were other chateaus. They were all having the Christmas lights out. Everything was very nice, very nice. Then from there, we stopped off in Vendôme to the vets to get their worming tablets, which was just under €50 for the two of them. He was a nice vet. Although our friends had been there with one dog and she got charged the same, so maybe it's, I don't know.
And it was a different vet.
Different vet, yeah. So, and from there, the weather really turned. It threw it down with rain. We stayed in Nonancourt Air.
Yeah.
When we arrived at that air, there was nobody there.
It's a really good spot though.
Water wasn't on, electric wasn't on. you just parked, like in bays.
Yeah, you could use a toilet dump, but that was it, wasn't it?
But within a few hours, it was full.
Yeah, and another mobile vetter came there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't go out because it was hammering it down, so we didn't explore.
Spoke to the guy with the other mobile vetter, and he said the bars in town were really nice, and that's where he was going because
He didn't have any heating.
Yeah, he had no heating because his leisure batteries had died.
Flat. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd just stay at
Nonnon
Court again. You're right next to what I would call the civil building, civic centre. It's just a nice spot by the river and near to a fire station. Yeah, I'd do that again.
And then we headed to Neufchâtel-en-Bray, which is another camping car one. Did a bit of shopping and went in there. It was quite busy, wasn't it? And by 5 or 6 o'clock, they were queuing to get up.
They were. I don't think it's a camping car one. There's a big site next to it. This is like owned by the big site.
It was camping car.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I need to check on that because
I'm
not convinced.
No,
you do have to pay. It belongs to the big site.
Okay.
The big site's closed in the winter.
I'm wrong.
But they keep this little bit open.
Oh, it's because you had to get a ticket.
That's
you
right,
go in
the
and
gate.
then you had to pay for it and use it as a.
Yeah.
That's
So it was very busy, very
they were
busy
queuing
spot.
to get up, and there was no spaces left. There was quite a lot of Brit fans as well, so that's quite handy for the tunnel or the ferry.
Yeah, we're about an hour and a half out of from the tunnel, weren't we?
We didn't do much exploring because that was when we did the bolt to get back into the UK before the new COVID.
Yeah, Saturday night we were there, and it's when Boris did the announcement.
They were changing whether you had to do
new COVID tests on entering Britain.
And we thought we're not
risking that.
We're going straight back.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
So, and everybody else did as well because everyone got up really early and we all left, took the ferry and the tunnel.
Tunnels,
yeah.
Well, that was it.
And then we were back in Blighty, weren't we?
Yeah.
That was fun.
It was a good 3 months, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Enjoyable. And the only thing that went wrong with Roma was a screw loose.
That's you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no, the van was good. Everything went well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apart from when we got to Blighty and got back.
Snow.
No, we had a stone chip on the M25.
Oh yeah.
Within an hour of being back. And then we had trouble finding somewhere to stay because a lot of places were closed. So we headed to the Cotswolds because we knew the Morton in the Marsh caravan site would be open. We got about an hour from there and it started to snow and it went dark. So it was a very interesting drive to Morton in the Marsh.
Welcome back to driving on the
left-hand side of the road.
Right, well that sums it up.
Okay.
Hope you liked the video. Please like, share, subscribe and comment, and we'll see you next time as we head off on the ferry from Newhaven to Dieppe.
Cheerio.
Okay, you also need the electrical adapters, 2-pin for France and Spain, and you also need to test it because sometimes they have reverse polarity, which is what this gadget does, and it just tells you if it lights up, everything's okay. It comes in a set of 3, the one we bought. That's just an extension lead in case you need further to go with your electric supply. Then the additional, because we have LPG gas, you need the adapters to fill up in Spain and France, and we remember it was fat for France and the skinny one for Spain. And also we had to purchase whilst we were away a really wide fitting water adapter for the taps, especially on the airs in Spain. They're quite wide, so you need various sizes of water filling adapters.